Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Angela Greneville, the Economic Development Manager for the town of Okotoks. And today we have Peter Stapley, the Manager for Municipal Enforcement. So hi, Peter. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you are an important role for business owners right now as they relaunch. And from the questions that we're getting on a local level and just walking the streets and talking with business owners in the last week since they reopened on May 15th, there seems to be some confusion on whose role and responsibility is what. So our goal today to have you on is to educate and guide the business owners to make it as easy as we can to work with them on how to open and recover. So thank you for participating and helping us get really clear so that we can also assist you as administration and as citizens of what our expectations are to be customers in these stores. So I have a few questions for you, but can you just give us some background of your team and where you're located, and before the pandemic, what was your role with your team?
Absolutely. So we have a team of six officers that work on regular calls, and they work on shift work. We cover, before the pandemic, we were covering 6 a.m. till midnight. Now we're covering 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. just to adjust to the changing scenario and everything going on. As we start to reopen, we're going to see those hours start to shift back. But generally what we deal with is we deal with a lot of the local neighborhood issues. So we have the noise complaints, we have some concerns about businesses, could be a business without a business license. We also have traffic is a big part of our mandate, and other provincial issues, littering, checking on the parks. This time of year, fires. Fires in the River Valley become a big concern with how dry everything is. So we cover a lot of different topics, but we're throughout town.
Yeah, well, thank you. And thank you for everything you do. There's probably never enough of you and never enough hours in the day. So we try to, I know economic development, working with you with the business licenses, we're always kind of known as the bad guys, but the truth is it's for safety and regulation. You know, these regulations that governments have have enforcement is not to be difficult or red tape. It is really, the goal is for safety first for our citizens and abiding the law. So just want to clarify that, because sometimes we do get those business owners that are a little upset and you become the bad guy that shows up, but there's a purpose of why we work together and have you in there. So one of the biggest questions right now that I'm finding out, and I'm going to pretend I'm a business owner right now in Okotoks and say, I am confused. I'm told we can open up, the guidelines come up, but where's the checklist and the approval? Is it through economic development that gives me the green light that I can open up the business? Do I have to get a business license approved? Do I have to wait until the business, till the province allows it? And then the other question is, how do I know if I've done it right? Can you just touch base on that?
Absolutely. There is a lot of confusion with everything going on, and it's understandable because since the pandemic started, and the CMHO orders, those are the Chief Medical Officer of Health orders that have been coming out, the restricted who can be open, how many groups, who can be where, that we have to be 2 meters apart and follow the social distancing. There's a lot of them. I have a binder of all the orders that we've been trying to sort through and figure everything out. So I totally get the confusion, and I have a lot of sympathy for business owners that are trying to figure it out, especially when a lot of these documents are written in what could be considered a legalese type language. So where to go and how to get it sorted out. The first one I would recommend is the alberta.biz website, where the province has put out these guidelines on how to open and what can open. Because as we do these staged openings, there are going to be some businesses that can't open just yet. Mm-hmm. And the Alberta government is the one saying who can open and who can't, and what are the specific regulations that different businesses have to follow in order to open. So that would be the first stop I'd recommend.
So let's just summarize that. So for business owners, we want clarity and we want easy for you. You have so many forms to fill out right now. You have so much between employees and inventory and supply chain and PPE, so many things. So these links are all available for you under the Town of Okotoks website under business supports. But you can call Peter's team at the Municipal Enforcement. You can call his office. You also can call the front desk of the Town of Okotoks or the one-stop shop Economic Development, or email us. Economic Development, we have staff dedicated that will walk you through where these links are in these processes. So the other clarity, Peter, thank you, is that you've said this is the province that is mandating this. Who can open and how they can open. This is not the Town of Okotoks local government that is deciding this, because that's the discussion that I'm answering right now is, why are you being the town administration? Why are you? We have nothing to do with this. So could you tell me your role of enforcing the province new laws that they're bringing down for the relaunching?
Yeah, so when the pandemic started, with the CMHO orders that were coming in, it was really hard for AHS to manage these orders. Under the acts and the regulations, the way they were worded, it was up to the local health inspectors to manage it. And in Okotoks, we have two. And not only do they manage Okotoks, but they manage the surrounding areas and other communities. It's quite a big territory and a lot of calls for them to try and deal with. So it was really beyond their ability to manage it. So the province issued a special order that allows peace officers to come in and enforce some of these regulations. Now, it's a temporary authorization, and there is an end date to that. I don't have it specifically. I believe it's in June or July, but eventually it will come to an end. And what we were told, we were brought in, and we're brought in so that we can help AHS. So if somebody has a concern or a complaint, they can call our office. We have authority under the CMHO orders. However, if it's not clear as to what exactly the concern is, or if it's something we should be managing, maybe it is a little bit more complicated and it should be going back to AHS. We work in partnership with our local health inspectors. We talk to them regularly, and if it's something that is a little bit beyond, because it's more specialized, they may take over the investigation. If it's something that we can manage, they'll probably leave it with us. They may even attend with us to go and look into it. If you mentioned people can call us, if it's just a question that somebody has because they're not sure, give us a call. We will do our best to try and help you out. If we can't find the answer, we will look into it. We will call our local health inspector. We will try and find that answer for you and get back to you. Because at the end of the day, right now, we do focus on a lot of education. And we're trying to help all the businesses. We try to help everybody out. If we get a complaint as something as simple as the bylaw where someone doesn't have a business license, we always try to direct them and help them get their business license and get everything sorted out. It's always about trying to gain that compliance before we go in and do enforcement. So again, questions, whether it's CMHO or a bylaw, they can give us a call. We will try to find that answer. If it's specifically to CMHO, if we can't find that answer, we don't know right off the top, we'll dig into it and we'll see what we can find out. We'll work with AHS and try and get you an answer. We'll try to make sure it's clear and concise.
Okay, thank you. I love how you worded the role is to help the business owners gain that compliance before you have to enforce. If there's an enforcement happening, there is an ownership of the compliance to the business owner, straight up. So where we play a role in economic development or the town administration is, are we being clear? Have we educated properly the provincial, the federal, and the local regulations to you so that you can follow compliance? We probably not. We're probably room for improvement on all levels, especially during this pandemic time. But today we are reaching out to you business owners to say, please contact us. If you are confused and if we are not being clear, we are open to help you get your business open and become compliant so that we don't have to bring in enforcement. So that is why having you on today, I'm hoping that, because we were bombarded with emails and calls as soon as this open, and I thought right away, we need to pivot and we need to get very clear so that the business owner can understand. So all of those on this site here on our social media, and those will be posted on the Town of Okotoks social media so that consumers can understand this as well. Together we recover. Together we'll be transparent on the compliance so that as consumers, when you're going in, if you're nervous of going in to support a local business, you can do your part and you can suggest to them the compliance. This is all transparent, but you have a role to play to respect those compliance. Do you want to touch base on that a little bit, Peter, of where you would enforce and what is the responsibility of the business owner to make sure their customers are in compliance?
Absolutely. So as I said before, the province has provided a lot of resources on where to go and what guidelines you have to follow. And I've taken a look at them. Some of them are really good. There's a lot of really good resources out there. If we get a call, and I can tell you that pretty much all our calls that we get, if it's related to a CMH order, it's because somebody is concerned about safety. Maybe it's that they don't feel there's enough protection in place for the consumers, or they want to support that business, but they just don't feel safe enough to go there yet. That's usually why we get a call. So we'll go in, and knowing what we know of the CMH orders, we start by working with the business and we ask them, what have you done? Like, sometimes it's really clear, sometimes it's not. But have they gone to the Alberta Biz? Have they tried to sort it out? If we see an honest and forthright effort to try and follow these CMH orders and get their business going, we're going to work with you. I can guarantee that. When it comes to the point where we have to go to enforcement, there's history. And usually we have tried to work with someone and it hasn't gone well. Maybe it hasn't been well received. Maybe there's something else to it. I can think of cases in the past where we've actually had to go and we've had to do enforcement because consumers were actually hurt from the businesses not following regulations that they have to. So do your best. I can completely appreciate that it is confusing. There are a lot of new rules out there, but ask for help, ask for clarity, call us with questions. We will do our best to help you. And if you do happen to have an officer show up at your door, we want to work with you. We want to help you get to where you need to be. And as long as you're doing that forthright effort, I think we can get there.
Thank you. And I love your openness of working together because I think that is what it's going to take to stay open. If we don't follow these enforcements, we don't know. We've never been through this before. So when we look at other countries that are ahead of us, that are hitting second waves and suppression levels are coming back on, you know, Okotoks has a real opportunity of how they want to show up in this. And it's going to take all of us together. So you're not the bad cop coming in to enforce it. You're actually there to support us and help us stay open. And I want us all to look at the mind shift and change of that. And that was the big reason of, you know, the federal government. What is their role? If you're not clear, we have a very active MP, John Barlow, in our backyard that we can call and have him connected to you in his office immediately. All the links for the federal, what their role is under business supports and business mandates are there. We also have a very active RJ Sigurdsson, our MLA. He has been on many calls. I've been on many webinars with him that he is saying, my office is open. We have a connect line with him, and same as the Chamber of Commerce. If any information you business owners need, and then on the local level, your elected officials are always a phone call and a text or an email away, but then as us as administration, so are we. We are here to work with you, but the citizens are going to play a big role in it. I did have a few incidents on the weekend where they called and where one restaurant is talking about one restaurant and one hair salon is talking about another hair salon. And I understand it, and I take it from a positive lens that you are asking each other to please be responsible. And if you don't want to be that bad guy and you don't think they're following the compliance that is put forward for them, then that is where we can come in and have that friendly discussion to educate with them. Do you understand? Was this clear? And that's what I've enjoyed from you today, Peter, is you're not there to shut them down. You're there to say, we don't want to spread COVID anymore. We don't want this, the less cases, let's make 17 our peak. I think that's what we're at now and have been holding there. So that is a positive thing. But is there any closing remarks that you'd like to say to the business owners today, or anything with Alberta Health Services that how to connect to them and what role they play?
Just that I know the local inspectors here for Alberta Health Services, and my experience with them is that they're really good too. They want to work with people as well. So whether it's our office or the inspectors that get the call, if you see either of us show up, we're pretty respectful, and we know that if you've done your due diligence and you've done your best, we're going to try to work with you. I mean, it's confusing and things are changing rapidly, and they're going to change again as we go into the next phase. So don't be shy about calling and asking questions, because lots of times we're learning just as quickly as you guys are. So by all means, if you have a question, call. And if you have a concern and you don't want to go talk to those people, give us a call and we can look into it. So.
Well, thank you very much, and thanking you for the openness and working together. To the business owners out there, or any of you non-for-profits, associations, academies, anything out there, even, I know the arts and the museums are starting to open up, and the galleries and stuff. Even if you think that these are not necessary regulations or they don't work with you, please don't be afraid to bring those forward to us. We can be your voice, or please reach out to your elected officials. That is their job, to be your voice on all 3 levels of government. So, and if you don't know how to do that or how to move forward with those, please reach out to us, even in the economic development, and we can help move that forward for you. So the other thing is that we've put a little tip sheet together. Our communications department is going to be posting this. They worked very hard and passed this through Peter and his team. This will be a live document, and all these this is not another form or anything to fill out, but we want to make things easy for you and clear and educate and give you tips as much as we can. So we put a little tip sheet together that if you are looking to open up and you are in the relaunch phase 1 and you're in a business in there, this is a tip sheet that you can look at and just check and make sure that you are following the compliance that the provincial government, not our local government, has mandated and put into place. This will also be a tool that Peter will be bringing along, and his team, to be educating to you, in case you didn't know. So those will continue to come. Those will be on the social media site here and posted, and they'll also be again on that business supports tab on the Town of Okotoks website. So I think that's it. Good luck out there, business owners. This is trying times for you. I understand, the empathy we have for you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for opening. Thank you for incurring the other costs and having the courage to keep going. To the local citizens out there that are tight with their money, with unknown and with jobs suppressed, thank you for opening your wallets and spending local. It's more important now than ever that we help these local business owners. So together we will recover, and we'll end on that note. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.